kind of been into gaming my entire life. My parents were really young when they had me, and they were both super into video games. So eventually, they kind of just learned how to bond with me and my siblings through shared hobbies. So over time, they got us into gaming, and we in turn started getting our friends into gaming, and now our whole family is just super big on it.
When I was like 5 years old, I played with my stepdad. It's been a thing ever since I could remember. I played Black Ops 2. When I first played that, it kind of got memories there for me. My friends, when I got to meet them, I ended up talking about video games with them, you know? I like my friend Ivan, then I ended up meeting Gilbert.
My first memory of playing video games was with my dad. We used to play a lot, but my furthest memory is playing with my dad on a game called Black Ops. My earliest memory of video games is where I played Call of Duty.
I've always been in the games personally. I mean, I grew up on the internet like everybody else in Gen Z right now, watching Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. Most recently, all of the MCYT content creators. Big one I attached to was Dream and Tommy Innit. I don't know, I just kind of fell in love with gaming.
Well, my first console was the GameCube. My dad was always really big into Nintendo games, especially The Legend of Zelda, so we always had all sorts of things like that in the house. I think that the very first game that I played, though, was The Sims 2 on the GameCube.
My first experience with a video game was a Nintendo Game Boy Color. I found like under a dresser that belonged to my sister like 20 years ago, and it still had the original Spyro adventure in it. And I picked it up and I started playing. I'm like, oh my god, I'm addicted.
My favorite game is Resident Evil or even Five Nights at Freddy's, you know? Those two games are actually pretty cool. That FNAF one, that one got me into the entertainment industry because, well, I'm a huge fan of horror, and I started tackling other forms of entertainment, you know, to make content like for my YouTube channel or even little mini movies.
My favorite type of game was first-person shooter.
I need something that's very like high action and high creativity. Like my main game that I play is Minecraft because you can it's an unlimited game. It's a sandbox game, so. And my personal favorite thing is building. I make some amazing builds. I play with my friends on this one server that we can have like 20 people on. So it's social, it's creative.
I met some of my online friends through gaming, and we continue to build a relationship outside of the game. We'll add each other on social medias. More often than not, I'll meet some friends through games like Valorant where there's a built-in voice chat and I get to know people. You know, we have a conversation while we play, and usually we're more focused on the conversation than the actual game, but it's really fun. While it's not face-to-face in-person contact, I don't know where I would be right now if I didn't have those friendships. I think video games can be really beneficial to almost anyone. It really just depends on what you're playing.
Positive effects can be in a video game could be like increase reaction time. Certain games increase patience. Certain games like Minecraft, it takes some time if you want to actually like have fun.
The positive effects that I got out of video games is sometimes I can tell pretty decent stories, you know. That's also where I can just hang out with my friends and, you know, relax.
I think I've developed a lot of skills through playing video games, anywhere from vocal training. I started getting into musical theater because of video games that I played when I was younger. Me and my family would always play Rock Band every single weekend, and they always had me on the microphone.
I've actually kind of turned my gaming into more of a career from me starting a YouTube channel and just stuff like that. I have right now a community of like 50 people that I organize to do like events and videos and just content, basically. It's definitely taught me people skills, management skills. Mainly I pick games because they have an epic storyline and great graphics. That's all I care about. Cosmetics, absolutely.
I don't usually like playing first-person shooters, but these days there's a lot of games in that genre that put a lot of emphasis into their character design and the story. And a lot of the time I love just playing the video game just to get little snippets of the lore.
Red Dead Redemption 2, that one had a cowboy guy who was a bad guy in the beginning, but then he ends up finding out he got sick by tuberculosis, and he started, traveling over these towns and trying to, fix his life and being a good guy so that way, he's not remembered as a bad guy.
For some people, it definitely does hinder their social capabilities.
When I went into high school, in a way, I kind of just stopped like visiting my friends, and I just cut pretty much my family out of my life, and I'm like just this shut in over here.
There would be some times where I would call sick from work and, you know, just stay home and play video games and not do anything else. There's times where I forget to eat, or when I forget to drink water, or I don't go outside.
Yeah, I do think I'm like addicted to the video games because after school, when we don't have any activities, I just go to my PlayStation and play video games.
Yes, I have been addicted to video games, and at the moment there's like nothing to do, so I mostly just go home, play video games. And why there's like nothing to do is because my parents both work at roughly the same time schedule, and where I live there's like nothing fun to actually do. But now that it's starting to get warmer, there's stuff I could actually do. I used to get a lot more anger issues from playing video games, and there's certain game modes called ranked, which places you on certain levels on a global leaderboard, and losing them over and over again kinda doesn't make me happy.
People, they blame the school shootings on video games most of the time because of GTA and all other games like that. And me, what I think is violence in video games doesn't really like give kids permission to say violence is okay because it's not reality. So
When I think about those type of games, I like just know it's a video game, so it's like mostly not real. So
Making friends online, it's really a hit or miss. You really have to be a very good judge of character, but that's most of the time that's not even enough. I'm great at getting a read on people in real life, but online they're anonymous. You don't know them. When you're anonymous and your actions are you can't be held accountable for your actions, people can just be the absolute worst.
Anything can be addictive if you have too much of it in your life. Anything can be a problem, not just gaming. It's important to keep a balance of it, but it's also important to keep an open mind. A lot of the people who spread that narrative that gaming isn't good for you and it causes all of these problems probably have never touched a video game in their life.